Mr. Andy Mack here at the Akai Professional booth. I wonder what we could be looking at because
I don't know.
It's been all over the blooming
wonder.
internet, hasn't it? So
It
here it
certainly
is.
has.
Wow. Okay.
So, as you know, this is Akai Force. You know, we announced this just over a week ago now, and it's been pretty phenomenal, the response that we've had, you know, because it solves so many different workflows for so many different types of users and different kinds of musicians, really. So the great thing about Force, especially when you look at the way that we've marketed this with the play, perform, produce, and those three words are very key to what this product's all about. So when you look at, you know, play, it's like if I'm someone who wants to kind of play music, I want to do different types of clip launching and stuff, I can be very, very creative. When I want to produce, I can go into my synths, I can go into my drums, and I can start really producing music. Then perform, I want to do my whole live set. I want to be electronic kind of DJ, stroke stems, you know, real live performance in a very tactile workflow. And it kind of sums up the way that so many people will gravitate towards what Force is. So let's just go over real briefly, you know, what's inside this, okay? What's driving everything? So we are running 64 grid matrix here, which is running audio and MIDI tracks, okay? And obviously MIDI, you can drive, you've got CV gate on the back, we've got MIDI, so you can hook up your external synths. So there's a very, you know, that's all you pretty much obvious
it's kind of
stuff
taking a bit of, yeah, but it's like a bit,
you got
of,
a bit
of X and a bit of live as well, right?
Yeah, because, you know, like I say with X, very appealed to a lot of the electronic guys because of those certain features. So this gives you all of that. You've got a great set of knobs here, which gives you the OLEDs for live control, for utilizing the synths, quick parameters, very, very simple to look at stuff. You know, for example, if we go into I'll tell you what, let's go to our synth here on track 9. Now I've got my synth. If I
So these are the devices that come in the MPC
so we got,
Live.
No, so
there's a new.
Hype is brand new. Hype is very, very powerful. It's a 3 oscillator. You've got over 2,500 presets that have been built from the ground upwards. You can save all your own stuff. It's fully programmable. It's a wavetable as well. So you've got so much stuff inside this, and it sounds phenomenal.
Is that from the Air guys again?
Yes.
Right.
So, and again, we'd need a video just to talk about the synth. But when you go into the features combined with the synth, it all starts making so much sense. So just for example, I can go into, so we've got launch mode where I'm launching everything live or in the studio. Then I go into notes mode. So now I can now control, I'll tell you what, let's find a nice preset. So now I can go into, say, my arpeggiator.
Are these pressure sensitive, these pads?
Yeah, they're touch sensitive. Yeah. And Nick, you know, what is so amazing about this is like you could be doing stuff like that, but hey, I can still use the screen whilst I'm running this. I can set this up to say, okay, I want to control my synth and use project mode. So I could assign these to the synth if I wanted to use different parameters on the screen. So it's very versatile to decide how you want to use the unit. You don't get stuck in modes. So notes mode, very powerful. Again, you need a video just to go through it, but it's very straightforward. You've got all your different scales, you've got progressions, harmonies, chords.
Right.
You know, everything's there. And, you know, it all depends on the type of sound that you're using that drives the type of progression that you want to use, but you've got everything covered.
And then all of this, I mean, all that pattern could be, you could record that into a clip, right?
Exactly, right. So anyway, that side of it, pretty straightforward. So like I said, there's 4 synths. You've got Hype, which is a new one. You've got Tube Synth, which is from MPC, Electric, and Bassline. So 4 very powerful synths inside, all right? Notes mode, like I said, step sequencer. And then you've got a lot of very tactile buttons here for quantize, metronome, time correction, octave shifts and stuff like that when you're in notes mode. And then we got our quantizing for the launching of the clips. So you want to do 1 bar, you want to do quarter, eighth, 16th,
right?
Just shift, bosh, you're done. Okay. So let me show you some cool stuff. So let's go. Start off. I'm going to go back. So I've got everything here. Now let's start off with this vocal. and I'm going to take my tempo back down to the original tempo, which was, I think, 89.
Is that onboard effects?
Yeah,
Wow.
and we'll go in there now. Fully Air Music Technology effects, which sounds incredible.
Yeah, I can hear that here, yeah.
I should make a move on. And if I don't
So is that like an audio stem you're running in there? That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. But I tell you what, why don't we speed it up?
The more I see you, the more that it becomes so true. There ain't no other for me.
So you got that pitch and time stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Something tell me could be going on.
Yeah.
Down for
Feel something tell me. Feel something tell me. I would like to get to know if I could be the kind of girl that you could be down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me
Nice UI.
that you're the kind of guy that I should make a
Oh, sweet. That's like the mixer, right?
Yeah. So to do that kind of stuff, right? Standalone, pulling in stems, but also what I'm doing, it's not just audio loops that I'm playing here, right? Check this out. So let's go back here. So we can check all the way that we want to toggle these clips as well. Let me go into that mode. So we've got all of our parameters down here, shifting the pitch, going to the clip. Then we've got our launch modes as well, so we could. So if you don't want to mess up, or you want to get creative,
Jazzy.
you could do all that stuff as well, right?
Takes me back, Andy.
I know. But what I love as well is let's go back to this loop here, right? Go back to my matrix. I'll make an empty clip. Now I can set my clip duration as well. Really simple. Shift launch. I got it defaulting at 2, so every time I want to make a clip, I might want to make it 4 or 8 or whatever. Just depends on what you're doing live,
Sure.
really. So now we've got an empty clip running. Let's go into step sequencer.
So that's just you putting that into step mode
Yeah,
and just
you
dropping the
know.
bit.
Or we could go into notes mode, and I can
Repeat. And
yeah, do it hands on, finger drumming, all those different ways. So when you flip it into kind of like drum notes mode, that kind of replicates what the MPC world see.
Yeah.
But what kind of really inspired me, this is going to be a little bit more kind of on the kind of MPC's kind of style thing, so people can see how you can flip it into these modes.
Right, okay.
So again, but do you know what I found as well is when I started kind of making more productions and stuff with Force, having the ability to just take different types of loops and have them in a workflow like this, but then flip into those MPC drums. So if I go to here and go, start this off. Right? I've got that running, really cool. And we'll step it up.
Careful.
Yeah. Right. But then we go into MPC mode. Right.
Across the nighttime, the city winks a sleepless eye. Yeah, I've always shake my window, sweet seducing sighs. Get me out
you know, it's a great example because it's just showing you how you can take little stems of stuff. You can start putting drums over the top. You can start using the effects. And when you start going through like sample packs as well, like you can, you know, one thing I love about sample packs at the moment, let me get rid of a bunch of this. I go to a new track. All I do, hold down number 1, okay? Go to new track. And this is audio. So now I've got something to put in my track, okay? So I go to load. Now, obviously, you'll see in the browser, I'm going to show you the browser here. Go to my content. Oh, Splice. So we've obviously got Wi-Fi connection with Splice, so I can bring in all of my Splice library.
Okay, so
what I do...
This has got Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
All right, because
yeah.
of
You got
course,
it.
Yeah.
So the great thing about that is when I'm in Splice, I'm just going to show you my library real quick. Where are we? Places, folders. Let me find my folders. There we are. So
this is accessing your cloud stuff, right?
yeah, so here's my packs. All right, here's my packs from Splice. Let's go into here. Process song starters. There's some great stuff in here, right? So Wabs.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's load that in. 90 beat per minute. Okay. So now that's in there. Amazing loop. I'm going to take the tempo down to... Oh, it's there already, so we take it down to 90. And now, when I play that, there it is. Take my warp off. And then I can set my loop length as well. So I can manipulate my loop length anytime I want.
While it's playing, right?
Yeah,
okay,
whilst it's playing. So now let's go to drums. Right. So I could populate my own kits if I want. Right. But let's go to trap. Okay. And then I can then bring in some. So now if I go into...
So was that pulling it over Wi-Fi, or was that on the hard drive there?
So if I like that idea, I can... So that's running, and you see it's quantizing, it's waiting for me to come in.
Right, so you could just then play that in.
Yeah. There it goes. I want to put my click on. Metronome. So, and then you can just start building up your rhythm. So, it's so fast, but let's do something slightly different, right? Let's do this. Let's go delete. Drums, okay, and we're gonna go to load. And I'm gonna go to the inbuilt content, and let's go to deep. Okay, auto preview, auto sync.
So that'll just pull it into the tempo you're
Yeah,
at.
so now, step sequencer, all right? Again, I just want to start with 2 bars. It's running, okay, already. My tempo is going to be... So, already, a few seconds, but check this out. New track, okay. Plug in, okay. Clip. Now I'm in hype, okay. And I'm going to go notes mode. I'm going to go basic bass.
Just flipping presets there, right?
Yeah. Find something I like. See what I've got here. It's bells. maybe. Oh, take that down. Here we go. So now I can flip the octave, shift, down. Find something I want. I need a nice bass. I need to go to my other folder here. Warm bass, that's what I want. That's what I want. So, okay, let's put something in, okay? So, there we go. Wait for it to come round, but it's on quantize anyway. Bosh. So that's running. Record arm. So now, when I'm ready, out, record. Then I can go back to track 1, step sequencer.
Yeah, I see how quick. I mean, it's a quick old. I had a couple of questions because I did notice there was something on the back called Link, and it was an Ethernet port. What's that?
Oh, Link. That's just for hot connection to your Wi-Fi. So
Right,
for Ableton Link.
It's like and wired, so it's a wired Ethernet connection.
Yeah. So you got wireless and hot wired as well. So yeah,
neat.
because I think I think nowadays some people like a hard connection, other people like happy with Wi-Fi.
So you could access like network storage and stuff like that as well, could you?
Maybe in the future.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that you could do. If you think at the moment we're already accessing your Splice library via Wi-Fi,
Why not?
connection. So yeah.
So okay, facts and figures. When is going to be hitting the streets? Do you think?
This will be in the retailers in about 10 days' time.
Oh, wow, that quick.
Yeah.
And it was about $14.99, wasn't it? The dollars, right?
Yeah. So I think UK pounds could be about $12.99.
Nice.
Yeah. So lot for your money. Awful lot for your money when you think of what this can do as a standalone device to be able to run it as a DJ tool, production, all those kind of things. But also, if we go to here, I want to show you something a little bit more adventurous. Going to go to something really, really cool here. Here we go. Let's load this up. And again, another thing she's great for is like song style projects where you've got verse, bridge, chorus and stuff, and you've got different types of drums where you can kind of get an expansion pack and do so many cool things with it. So this is just like an early preview of this kind of. This is like a like funk Nile Rodgers kind of vibe, right?
All right, okay.
So cool. So you'll love this. You absolutely love this. I go to my MPC drums. Okay, go to my kit, right? Right. So you got some drums and stuff, right? Let's go to the parts. Right. Let's launch.
Nice. So these new sample packs then?
That'll be coming, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That
Cool.
gonna support Force. Guitars back in. There's nothing out there can do this kind of vibe. Bass line back in. So much fun. And again, but if you're making your own music, you're using WAV files and content, this is the kind of stuff that you can do with it. It's so versatile.
Yeah, I mean,
really
it looks
is.
like. I mean, what? So you could run. How many sort of instances of those synths can you run under this? Because there's obviously finite resources. In the box
So
like this,
8 and 8. So 8 audio tracks, 8 synth tracks, and then you've got up to 128 drums. Well, MIDI tracks basically, because all the drums are all MIDI tracks anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah. Pretty powerful.
Sweet. And
other stuff, Richie.
I can't stop him.
I know. Crossfader. is there. So you got time stretching inside as well, like we said. Editing, you got your piano roll, all of the Air Music technology effects on board, CV gate, MIDI in and out, mic pre's on this as well. So mic and line level inputs. So you can plug vocals straight into this, start recording, build up clips, do harmonies. So sky's the limit.
Thank you, Andy.
Pleasure.
Exciting times.
Exactly.